Hello everybody and welcome back to my Country Sparkles channel. This is Rachel here. Today I'm going to be teaching you about freezing parsley. Freezing parsley is a great way to preserve it throughout the year, especially if you buy extra at the store or if you have grown it in your garden. You can use it for future meals. So here we go. What you want to do first is always wash your produce, even from your garden. Even if you don't use chemicals or anything, there's still can be bugs on it and dirt and all the grimy stuff you want to get off. So all you have to do is rinse it off in the faucet of your sink, or you can take things like a salad spinner, fill it up partway with water, submerge your parsley in the water, wash it off in there, then strain it out, dump it out, and then spin the parsley to get most of the water off. And then you want to lay your parsley out overnight to dry off on towels or some kind of moisture absorber to get them as dry as possible. Just air dried so there's not extra water. There are a few different ways that you can freeze parsley. One way is you can just take it like this, put it on a cutting board, chop it up, and stick it in a Ziploc bag and throw it in the freezer. That's all you have to do. It can be as easy as that. If you want to take it a step further, then that's great. So take your parsley, you can detop it or destem it. I don't mind the stems, they are edible, but I know lots of people don't like the stems because they can be hard and long and skinny. So you can take a destemmer thing like this for herbs. I will link all my little gadgets down below in the description box, so please check it out there. Pull your parsley through here and that will take the leaves off, just like that. So you can destem them like that. This is the funnest way, I guess, that I like to destem things. And then you get your leaves. If you want, you can just go through and just pull off your leaves too. You don't need a stemmer, but if you have one, all the better. Just go pull off all your leaves, and then what you want to do, if you want to freeze it, not just have parsley, you can freeze it in things like olive oil or butter. You can do salted or unsalted. If you use salted, just make sure you don't add extra salt to whatever you're using the parsley in. Like if you put it in spaghetti sauce or something like that, don't add extra salt. Your butter already has salt in it. What I do next is I put it into my little food processor here. So make sure there's not too many. I preloaded this so that way you didn't have to watch me destem everything. And some of these are destemmed. See, this one's not. I'm gonna pull those off. Some are. I'm gonna add a little bit of olive oil in here just to help the consistency of the blending. So that it just blends up well. Oh, there's my lid. Missing my lid. Put your lid on and you blend it up. There you go. And from here, after it's all coated, and I'm going to add just a little bit more olive oil. Want it a little bit liquidy, not like super runny, but I don't want it just coated either with olive oil. So olive oil, to freeze it in here, is just to add flavor. So you have a herb olive oil mixture. It doesn't necessarily preserve the parsley any better or worse with or without it. It's just another technique that you can use to freeze parsley or cilantro or now rosemary. You can do all kinds of herbs using this method. Okay, so you get that all blended up, and then you can stick it in your handy dandy labeled, see how I put parsley in there? Labeled Ziploc. After you get a whole bunch of different herbs and stuff in your fridge or freezer, a lot of it's green, and you really need to be able to tell those things apart because parsley is different than garlic. And definitely different on how much you're going to use in any situation. So with this, instead of putting it in a Ziploc, which is my favorite because then I can squish it out flat, and I like to freeze things flat. Another thing I like to do is use an ice cube tray to put and freeze it in, because then it puts it in a nice shape, and I just can pull out an ice cube and then throw it in with my sauces, or when I'm sauteing vegetables or anything like that. So I take my parsley here that's been all blended up, and I add it to my ice cube trays. And this isn't a ton, I just wanted to do a quick preview of what I do. Just like that. Just like that. And since it's not, and then when using an ice cube tray, I will add some more oil on top of it, just to make sure they're all covered nicely. Take a fork, push that down, make sure they're submerged, otherwise they will get a little freezer burnt if any of the leaves are sticking out of the oil. So make sure they're submerged, just like that, and then I'll freeze it, take it out, and use it in my next time cooking. But that's another reason that using a bag is definitely my favorite method, because I can just put that in there. I don't have to add any extra oil or anything like that. I'll just lay it flat and then break off pieces as I need them. But this is also so convenient to just be able to pull it out of the freezer and have it ready to go. Like, I'll freeze this and then I'll pop it into a Ziploc bag and then just be able to pull out a stick of cilantro and oil. Not cilantro, I meant parsley. Cilantro and parsley are interchangeable in some things, but not all. That are my mainly three ways of freezing parsley. You just stick it in a bag, nothing added to it. Just fine, it'll freeze. Make sure you have the bag labeled so you can tell it apart from others. You can blend it up with olive oil, then put it in a bag. Then you have a little bit of olive oil already added to your meal as you cook it, or you can freeze it into ice cube trays. Also, you don't have to use olive oil if you don't want. Butter also works great. Unsalted if you really want to add salt to your meals, or if you already add a lot of salt to your meals, but you salted and just cut out the salt in your normal recipe. And that is how I freeze my parsley. Thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful, and good luck preserving your herbs throughout the winter. I hope to see you next time. I would love a like and a subscribe down below. Bye, you guys.